How did calligraphy help Steve Jobs? You may be wondering what Steve Jobs has to do with calligraphy. Aren't they completely different? In this video I will share with you on how an art can make a difference without people even realizing it. So let's go back in time. We all know who Steve Jobs was, but I want to dive a little bit more in his creative process. Although Jobs was a genius, he wasn't a huge fan of studying in college. He attended Reed College in Portland, Oregon, but dropped out after one semester. He later explained his decision as the reason was not wanting to spend his parents' money on education he found meaningless and unuseful, and to drop out without their knowledge. Jobs was interested in a few classes only so he attended for some more time. He noticed that on campus every poster and label on every drawer were beautifully handwritten. He acknowledged the art even though he wasn't a geek on going there. During that period, Jobs was sleeping on the floor in his friends' dorms. He was barely making it, but his passion kept him going. One of the classes he went to happened to be the art of calligraphy. He decided to join Robert Palladino's calligraphy program. Let's see who Robert Palladino was. He was born in 1932 in New Mexico. He was a therapist, monk, academic and calligrapher. There is no much information about his life, but what we know is that in 1969 Palladino replaced Lloyd Reynolds, who was an icon in the field of calligraphy and the creator of Reed College's calligraphy program when he retired. He took the chance to expand his creativity and loved it. In 1972, Steve Jobs came to campus. Palladino's impressions were that he was a nice guy and a very intelligent young man who fellow students liked and certainly noticed. Jobs shared that in the Palladino classes, he learned about serif and sans-serif typefaces, as well as how to make typography look great. He learned the beauty of calligraphy and he found it fascinating, as he said in his 2005 Stanford commencement speech. But how did Palladino influence Jobs' work later on? Steve Jobs explained that he could never connect the dots looking forward back then, but 10 years later he realized how useful it was attending these classes. 2 years after they ended, Jobs came back to Reed College and wanted to consult with Palladino about his Greek letters. Palladino said he didn't know if Jobs wanted to use the letters or just to get inspired. He knew he was working on computers on his parents' garage. Can you guess what happened next? Before I tell you, just check if you liked the video, and if you haven't, then make sure you do. Thank you. Palladino's calligraphy classes came out to be the main inspiration for the design of the first Macintosh computer, OE to the Mac we know. It was the first computer with beautiful typography, multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. To make this possible, Steve Jobs had a bigger idea. He wanted to hire Tim Griffin, also a calligrapher who started at Reed College and designed logos for over 350 films. Jobs invited him to work on a mouse-activated computer, which is also known as Mac. He wanted him to draw a logo by hand with a cursor, the mouse, on the computer. But Griffin couldn't. He said the screen was too tiny and it had large pixels. Instead, he made drawings for the logo and of the computer using a calligraph brush tool. Jobs really loved the result. He was really passionate about coming up with new, original ideas. Later, Jobs hired Griffin to do more designs. For example, for the computer company Next, launched in 1985, Jobs wanted visual expression for the story of the new company, and this couldn't happen with adding some calligraphy magic. The interesting part is that their communication was handwritten. It was important for their connection. So what we know is that a simple class, which someone can skip easily, can be the main drive for changing history. But for his success, Jobs had to put so much work on planning, organizing and dedication. Imagine if he didn't have the desire, the motivation and the fire within him to aim for great things. You wouldn't have watched this video and I wouldn't have made it. Just think about how many things would be different. Well, probably Steve Jobs would have realized the Macintosh computer, but maybe without all of the typefaces and designs available, which we can only guess if it would have been that original. Share your thoughts on what our life would be without modern technology in the comment section below. I'm curious to find out your opinions. Although Robert Palladino didn't use computer, he felt proud to be a source for inspiration for so many students, one of whom we know become really successful and memorable. Calligraphy is a tool we can use on every occasion. We just need to learn how to use it properly, how to better it and apply it whenever we want to make. I have done it in my own way, and if you would like to see more of it, then you can subscribe to my channel and watch some of the previous videos. I hope you found interesting today's topic, and I hope you got inspired to continue practicing calligraphy. You won't regret it. See you next time.